In the year 1347, as the Black Death ravaged Europe, a knight rode through the shadows of a dying world. His name was Sir Alaric of Blackwood, a man bound by honor, driven by duty, and haunted by a secret that would unravel the very fabric of his legacy. This letter he carried was no ordinary parchment. It held a truth so devastating it could topple kingdoms. But Sir Alaric was not its deliverer. He was its thief. And the men who pursued him were not his enemies. They were his brothers in arms. 3 days prior, Alaric had sworn an oath to protect the crown. But when he uncovered a plot to assassinate the king, orchestrated by none other than the queen herself, he was faced with an impossible choice: loyalty to his king or justice for his people. He chose neither. Instead, he chose betrayal. Stealing the evidence, he fled into the night, a traitor in the eyes of those he once called family. But even the strongest of men have their limits. And as the storm raged on, Alaric began to question: was this a fight for justice, or a desperate bid for redemption? Time was running out. The letter had to reach the king. But with every step, the weight of his betrayal grew heavier. And then, he saw her, Eveline, alive, but not as he remembered her. Clad in the armor of the enemy, her eyes burned with a fury that mirrored the storm itself. She had not come to save him, but to stop him. In that moment, the past collided with the present. The woman he had mourned now stood before him as his greatest adversary. And the truth she carried was darker than he could have ever imagined. The queen's plot was never to kill the king, Alaric. It was to expose you, Eveline said, her voice cold and steady. The letter was a decoy. The real threat was him. Framed as a traitor, Alaric had played right into their hands. And now, with Eveline as their pawn, the queen's plan was complete. But even in the face of betrayal, love has a way of revealing the truth. And as Eveline's sword wavered, Alaric saw the flicker of doubt in her eyes. The doubt that would change everything. "Run, Alaric, before it's too late," she whispered, her voice trembling. Alaric hesitated, then grabbed the letter and mounted his horse. The storm raged on as he rode into the night, Eveline watching him disappear into the shadows. But the storm was far from over, for in his hands, Alaric now held not just a letter, but the key to a conspiracy that would shake the throne to its core. And as the first light of dawn broke through the clouds, one question remained. Would he survive long enough to expose the truth? Or was he already too late? If you want to know how Sir Alaric's journey ends, and whether the truth ever saw the light of day, hit that subscribe button and join us as we unravel the mysteries of history's most gripping tales. Don't miss the next chapter of The Knight's Last Oath,